2018 marks the 10th anniversary of the MacBook Air, which Steve introduced back in January of 2008. It's been refreshed with new internals and minor changes quite a few times, but it still features the same extremely outdated design. Is this the year that Apple will finally redesign the MacBook Air? There's quite a few rumors and signals that are hinting at a yes, so let's talk them through. As usual, Apple has just refreshed the MacBook Pro lineup, but strangely, they left the base $1,300 model completely unchanged, making it a really bad value compared to the new quad-core processor 13-inch Touch Bar models. For the first time in 3 years, the Retina MacBooks weren't updated either. They're also packing slow dual-core processors in a price tag of $1,300, also a pretty bad value if you need performance. And after not getting much of a boost at the 2017 WWDC, the MacBook Air didn't get updated either. It had poorly performing hardware then, and it certainly hasn't gotten better with age. Looking at Geekbench 4's CPU test, all 3 of those unchanged MacBooks are way behind the new 13-inch Touch Bar MacBook Pro. Not to mention the massive differences in Geekbench 4's graphic benchmark as well. The Retina MacBook already fills the role that Apple used the MacBook Air for, so what if Apple were to consolidate the MacBook and MacBook Air into a new completely redesigned budget MacBook? Those MacBooks already collide with each other, making for a pretty confusing lineup. And if they did redesign the MacBook Air while also boosting performance, who would buy the regular MacBook anyways? The MacBook Air's current design is pretty much as old as it gets in Apple's lineup. It's got huge bezels surrounding a display with a low 900p resolution. It's powered by 5th gen processors, while the new MacBook Pros are already using 8th gen chips. On the plus side for some, it's got legacy ports like Thunderbolt 2, and it's still using the old keyboard and physical trackpad. Seeing as it's the MacBook Air's 10th anniversary this year, I think it's the perfect time for a redesign, and I'm not alone. Back in March, analyst Ming-Chi Kuo claimed that Apple is planning a lower-cost MacBook Air coming later this year, and he reiterated those claims again in June and once more in July. A report from Digitimes claimed that Apple is planning a new MacBook Air with a slim design, high-resolution display, and Intel's latest notebook processor, with prices expected to be lowered by $100 or $200. They reiterated claims of a new inexpensive MacBook again on August 13th. Some rumors point to Apple waiting for Intel's Cannon Lake processor for an update, but if that's the case, we're waiting until 2019 since it's been delayed. Let's say Apple is readying a new MacBook Air with the possibility of having a quad-core processor model. It would make a lot of sense for Apple not to release it at the same time as the new $1,800 quad-core MacBook Pro, as that would cut into the sales of those models. If they were to do a simple refresh of both the MacBook Air and MacBook to include 8th gen dual-core processors, they could have easily done so alongside the new Touch Bar MacBook Pro, without it affecting the MacBook Pro sales. The fact that they haven't done so suggests that they're not going to update the MacBook Air at all, or are planning some pretty major changes in the entry-level Mac portable lineup. Now let's talk about what we'd like to see in a new budget MacBook Air. First off, we'd love to see a redesigned Retina quality display with much smaller bezels. We'd definitely like to see the Force Touch trackpad and a newer keyboard. As much as we'd like to see Apple implement their own custom processor, we probably won't see that for a couple of years, but we definitely want a new processor with the option of a quad-core chip. An option for 16GB of RAM would also be nice. Pricing-wise, we'd definitely like to see the base model stay under $1,000. If a MacBook Air redesign does happen, we'll be getting our hands on it, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos. Let us know in the comment section below what you'd like to see in Apple's next budget MacBook, or whatever they'll be calling it.
If you enjoyed this video, like it and hit that subscribe button. Also, check out our price guide, which makes it extremely easy to find the best deals on Apple products updated daily. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we'll see you in the next video.